Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my universe. Make yourselves at home. My name is Indira, and today we are going to be talking about the now becoming very popular, trendy cosmic knowledge of Mercury in retrograde. What is that all about? Kind of getting a little deeper into what does it mean when a planet is retrograded and how it affects us. And in particular, for us would be Mercury during this time. So Mercury went into retrograde today, September 10th, and it's going to be in retrograde until October 2nd of this year. This is the third time Mercury has gone into retrograde, and just overall, the concepts of any planet going into retrograde that affects us are planets that are closest to planet Earth. So Mars, Venus, Mercury, those are the planets that are going to affect us energetically the most. Because remember, little G's, every single thing in this universe, item, concept, physical being, entity, extraterrestrial, everything and anything is energy. And therefore, items, physical, planets, they start to affect you energetically. Especially large items like a planet absolutely give off their own energy signature, their frequency. Therefore, we have issues when a planet goes into retrograde. So, first of all, along with the Mercury in retrograde today is the celebration of the harvest full moon in Pisces. So there is a lot going on today. Some websites say it started yesterday. Technically, it started yesterday, early, and then, or late, depending on how you want to view it. And but it will appear full, maybe for some yesterday, last night, and for others it'll be today. So either way, as far as full moon, harvest moon in Pisces, it's all about daydreaming into deeper levels of consciousness. So you may feel that your mind's a little drifty, starting yesterday, maybe really feeling it today, just kind of don't want to think too intensely about anything. However, daydreaming into deeper levels of consciousness, that's definitely a little bit more intense direction. However, really, that's what Pisces is all about. It's about moving away from the physical, earthly cares and matters beyond this particular incarnation and going more into the spiritual realm, into the dream world, into the energetic, emotional unseen. And so maybe give yourself an opportunity to just relax, have some time on your own to daydream and really start thinking about who you are as a person, as a soul, beyond this physical body and beyond what you're having to do maybe tomorrow. Just let yourself go into deeper worlds of thought, of emotion, because Pisces, being a water sign, is all about emotion as well as non-tangible, practical things. So hopefully you will let yourself go into that space and give yourself some time to do so. All right, so back to Mercury in retrograde. It is a planet that has been dubbed the communication planet. Mercury physically can affect, when it's in retrograde, all communication platforms, systems, from cell phones, satellites, to anything that really relies on the internet, which would be also connected to satellites, etc. So any kind of communication that we have in our society, and that includes one-on-one, in-person communication. During this time, maybe communication is getting very intense, jumbled. You feel like you're not being understood, not being heard by a person in your life. And it can become quite frustrating, or maybe there is high levels of communication, like arguing, and where things are getting extremely intense. And there could be the polar opposite of you do not want to communicate with anybody, because the concept of retrograde is really about going backwards. I sometimes view that as going within, kind of shutting down. Not in a introspective way, but as in, I don't want to deal with the world or anybody in it. So that could also be another possibility that is happening in your life right now, and may continue happening in essence through the next, I guess, month of September, because it'll be done in October the 2nd. So, and if you are watching this video way after October the 2nd, I would love to see in the comments if you felt any kind of shift in communication during this time. That would be more in an intense way, negative way, more of a slowed down, non-existent way, because I'm always curious to see how these retrograded planets' energy and influence really do affect people, if they can even feel it. For the longest time, obviously this was years ago when I was a kid, a teen, I wasn't really focused on when the planets would go retrograded. So I didn't particularly really reflect or notice, is there something a little off with communication, with even reception for television or anything like that. So that's kind of what I would love to hear feedback from all of you little G's, to know if you notice a Mercury in retrograde effect in your life. So I am going to get a little bit more into what actually is happening, it appears to be, in the skies. So from an astronomy perspective, and I'm going to link a website in the description box, courtesy of NASA. And it is a platform where people can write in and ask questions that are supposed to be astronomy related. So there is a great explanation and little diagram of what it appears when a planet is in retrograde. But just to explain to you, it appears when a planet is in retrograde that it is going in the opposite direction. So in the case of Mercury, usually it orbits, it appears to be orbiting in the direction of west to east, and as it's orbiting through the stars. But as during certain times of the year, such as the period that we are entering in now, Mercury is going to be moving from east to west. So that is really, it's an optical illusion, because the retrograding effect is when planet Earth is actually moving faster than Mercury. And as it's passing and orbiting past Mercury, that appears to be going in a different direction, which would be east to west. So during that time of transition, when planet Earth is moving past Mercury, that is when the retrograde energy happens. So there are other planets that do retrograde, not just Mercury. I've just noticed in my own experience with people that they bring up when Mercury's in retrograde versus Mars or Venus or Saturn. So that's why I wanted to do a video to really kind of emphasize and clarify for people that love to watch videos and would rather watch somebody explain things rather than read it on their own. So I definitely enjoy learning from an audio perspective. So as far as when Earth is passing Mercury, the retrograde effect creates that kind of chaos, that kind of shift change. So I really loved a woman on Instagram, not TikTok. I've been getting into TikTok more, but Instagram. And she reminded me that little things that can happen during Mercury in retrograde is people from your past actually reach out and communicate with you. Just a reminder, Mercury is dubbed the communication planet. So any kind of random communication may be coming your way. And that could be romantic, or that just could be a friendship or a random acquaintance that it's been a long time since you've heard from them. So very typical to hear from somebody from your past. I do want to emphasize, maybe don't put too much emphasis into that communication, just because the whole concept of astrology is that we are influenced by planets, constellations, etc. And so that's why sometimes we are inspired to do stuff that may just be astrological influence, and maybe not so much of a true deep-hearted or mental connection and motivation. So just keep that in mind, that at times we are deeply influenced by our beloved moon, by a planet in retrograde, or a constellation being magnified or in trine at that time. So a lot of stuff can happen, but either way, definitely just keep a discerning eye, have a discerning spirit in regards to when people from your past come back into your life or communicate, reach out, just to kind of know, hey, what's the real root behind this, and you reaching out and finally texting me. So aside from that, another thing that happens during Mercury in retrograde is that your psychic abilities can heighten, believe it or not. And especially during this full harvest moon in Pisces, which Pisces can be an extremely psychic, empathic person and just energy. Then you have two things working for you. So your psychic abilities enhance during Mercury in retrograde, and you have the assistance of the full moon in Pisces. So maybe start noticing, today and in these next couple of days, or do you feel that your energy, your psychic abilities, and intuitive energy have heightened? And I would love to hear in the comment section, even if you watch this video later, if you feel any kind of shifts with your intuition and psychic abilities, because all of us have psychic abilities. We all do. Some just are more developed than others. And if you focus on your desire to improve your psychic abilities, then that is what will enhance and kind of take away the layers of Maya or illusion is what that's all about. So yeah, it's definitely a really interesting time, even though there may be frustrations with technological connections in regards to our communication. There could also be delays, just overall, delays in hearing from people, delays in projects, delays in even travel. Your flight may get delayed, or things just may be running late. So just kind of be a little bit more patient during this time of Mercury in retrograde, and just have some self-love because obviously things can get pretty frustrating when things are a little bit more in an upheaval energetically. I hope that this video helps you to understand the concept of planets in retrograde, and just in particular what we're going through and why Mercury in retrograde matters and affects us on a fairly regular basis every single year throughout the years. So I hope you are doing well. Know that I love you, and I want to end this video with a little bit of eye gazing. I have brought that up in previous videos, and I want to re-emphasize that I absolutely love you all. All of us are works in progress, and we are doing our best at the moment to just move forward, to hang in there in these turbulent times on this beautiful planet. And I'm so grateful that you're here and that you are here with me on my YouTube channel, Universe. I love you, love you, love you. So let's get started. I love you. 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 I love you so much, little G's. And I will see you very soon.